Hello, my name is Bella, and welcome to our time, our voice. Today we have dun, 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 dun. You may present your voice. Well, your name.
Hi, I'm Skylar.
Nice to meet you, Skylar. And Skylar, today we would like to ask, what country are you from, and what language do you speak?
I'm from the United States and I speak English.
Hooray! And also, I will begin your interview right now.
All right.
How long have you been into voice acting?
I've been doing voice acting for about a year now, at least seriously. I started actually trying to voice act like maybe 2 years ago, but it was more of like an experimental thing because I wasn't exactly sure about it yet. But over time, I grew to be more serious about it. And once I got all the equipment, that's when I really started pursuing it seriously. So that was about a year ago.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. What inspired you to get into voice acting?
Well, I've been a content creator for longer than I've been a voice actor, and I used to do a lot of impressions content.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a point in time where one of the voice actors for, sorry, the voice actor for one of the characters that I did impressions for reached out to me, found my content, reached out to me, and was like, "Hey, have you ever considered pursuing voice acting?" And I was like, no. Because at the time I was in high school, I was like, I didn't really know what to do, what I wanted to do yet, and I was just kind of chugging along, trying to survive. Uh, and then I got into college, and then ran out of time to do theater, which was my passion. Like I loved theater, I loved acting,
You don't
and
have
I was
theater in your
like,
college?
I mean, we do, but it's a lot of time. Like I had to also get a
Um,
job and all that, like it was
yeah,
time consuming for time that I didn't have. And so I
that
I thought
explains
about
it.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I
like a
thought
lot
about
of
it.
like the theater students at my at the college I went to always said like they had either had to be a full time student when they were in theater, or and if they did want to pursue theater, it only had to be very at the minimum while they still worked at a part time job, and even then it was hard for them. So I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. Yeah.
It's at least theater majors have it a little bit easier because like that participating in theater is required of them, so that's like part of their classes. I wasn't even a theater major.
I
My
am.
parents are not very supportive of like my acting pursuits, so I had to major in something else.
Yeah, I get that. And my dad still jokes around saying how I'm jobless. I was like, thanks, Dad. And my brother jokes around with Steven. He jokes, going like, "Oh, so you want to be an actor, huh? Let me get my coffee order for you at a barista."
Oof.
I know. I was like, "Ouch." Well, even then, I still can't get a job at Starbucks here. Like there's so many people that are trying to apply for their Starbucks here that they had to lay off people.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad in my area trying to get jobs because there's a lot of mom papa shops and there's hardly any chains.
I
Uh,
transferred schools and I'm now doing ASU online, and my mom
mhm.
wants me to get a job at Starbucks because ASU like does a program through Starbucks where they help pay tuition. And
Oh.
I can't work at Starbucks. I can't do that. There's too many people, too many things, excuse me, that could that could just not go well for me.
I
So,
totally get it. I totally get it. See, the thing is that I have like ADHD and dyslexia. So people could tell me like, "Oh yeah, give me light with cream," and I'm just gonna be like, "Oh yeah, just normal size with cream."
it's not even that for me. I have some other issues, but I totally get you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But
That's
hey,
fine.
I mean, maybe it's a good thing that you're not because that way you can have other time for stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I always see that there's like a silver lining or like a blessing in disguise. Okay,
Yeah, I
so
agree.
and the next question is, um, what is your favorite type of role?
Villains.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I love playing the villain. Sorry, I'm stretching.
No, I was
Oh,
actually in another interview I was saying like I kind of like doing villains as well because you finally get to actually be mean to people without having any regrets.
Yeah, it's like a perfect opportunity to get that pent up anger out of you.
Exactly, exactly. And I'm like, and it's really hard because you want to say something so bad, but you're like, I can't. I'd be too mean, no matter what they did to you. Oh, and it's like, oh, being a villain, like you can just let it out. I
Yeah,
totally get that. And here is the surprise question. What type of roles would you like to do more in the future?
villains.
So even more villains.
Yeah, I actually haven't been casted as that many villains so far, but I did a lot of villains when I was in theater because of my height.
Oh, how
And
tall are you?
so that's how I know. Oh, I'm 5'10".
Oh my god, you're almost my. Oh wow, you're actually a couple of inches taller than me. I'm 5'8". Oh
Yeah,
wow.
our height doesn't really do well in theater because of like we don't usually get the protagonist because the protagonists typically get the love interests, and it's always typical for the feminine love interest to be shorter than the masculine love interest. So,
Yeah,
um,
I get that. I played as the mom a couple of times.
yeah, the mom and the villain is what I always got casted as.
Yeah,
I
I
recently just
mean,
got casted in Legally Blonde for my community theater, and I got cast as the judge.
oh, that's
So,
cool.
yeah, I mean, at least it's a role that has singing and talking, so I'll take
Hmm.
it. But at the same time, it's still just that reoccurring, like my appearance does not help me during theater, no matter how talented I may be. That's why I like
Yeah,
voice acting so much. It doesn't matter really what I look like. What matters truly is my talent.
that is true. That is true. I mean, unfortunately, I seem to be picked only because of my voice for like the kid roles. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't mind, but it's really funny because of my age and my height that I don't really look like a kid. Because I'm like
Yeah.
5'8" and I'm gonna be 30 in September. So, and some people are like, "Oh, you sound like you're a preteen, or you sound like a little teenager." I was like, "Oh, thanks, thanks."
I mean,
I don't,
if you think about it, that's a really good thing for voice acting. We need more people who can do childlike voices.
yeah, and I remember I was trying to do kind of like a squirrel impression, more like that, you know.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good that you can do that. You should
Yeah.
be playing to your strengths because that's a really good skill to have.
At the same time, I also want to do more androgynous characters and more like boy characters as well. I would like to.
Yeah.
Um, like I remember in Genshin Impact, there's this character named Tainari that's done by a woman in the Chinese, and I was like, oh, I would like to do that one day.
Yeah.
hmm I was like, oh, that'd be interesting. I mean, I like I said, I like playing more like um boy roles because here comes it in kind of like oh no, I shouldn't say LGBT because there's some people that are not a part of the LGBT but still like playing LGBT roles.
Mm,
Hmm.
yeah, that's
That's always a big debate.
yeah.
Personally, I kind of like it, but I also kind of don't because it allows actors to be given the empathy or like be given like the shoes going like, oh, so this is what it's like to live it as an LGBT person. I never knew until today.
I prefer that LGBT roles be casted as as the authentic. I'm
No,
I'm
I
I'm big on authentic casting.
no, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's just like it kind of has me thinking, going like, I kind of like to see both sides of the view, like both sides of like the coin of the argument. And it's really difficult because I'm in the LGBT being as gender fluid, and
Hmm.
I'm just like, I can't help but think and wonder, seeing both sides. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I agree about how LGBT should be playing LGBT roles, but at the same time, I also think that there are some that do want to play straight roles. Like, for example, I forgot, but there was this one gay actor, and he wanted to play a Superman, and they didn't want to hire him because they're like, "Oh, you're gay, you're not straight, you can't play a Superman." I forgot what
Hmm.
actor that was. And he was really good looking too. Honestly, he really did look like Superman in my opinion. I mean, I
Gotcha.
personally did. I mean, there's already been a Black Superman like in like the 80s or the 70s. A
Yeah,
lot of
that's
people always
awesome.
forget that. Yeah, a lot of people always forget like the 70s movies. I don't know why. Kind of like when they're like Wizard of Oz like was black, and I was like, the Wizard of Oz already had like a black adoption. It had Michael Jackson as the Scarecrow. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies from the 70s and the 80s that had like black adaptions that people tend to forget. And I was like, do you not know that? I mean, look at the very first live action adaptation for Cinderella. It was featured with like Whitney Houston.
I have seen that one.
Yeah, that one was really good. I was joking around with my sister going like, so you have this interracial couple with Whoopi Goldberg with a white husband that has a Filipino son, and he gets with a black Cinderella, and I was like, oh, that's so cultural. That's so cute. I mean, I thought it was cute because I was like, oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, it was a
Because
good
I,
movie.
yeah, like I'm a brown person myself, so I was like, oh, that's so nice. We get to see more roles. Though personally, I do kind of see like Latinos have been given the lowest chance for roles in the past 3 years.
Yeah, I've noticed
So
that too.
yeah, there's some articles about that, and I was like, yay! I think I read that Pedro Pascal was like the very first Latino actor for some award show since the '90s for
Oh, wow.
Latinos, and I was like, ouch. But it's okay, we'll make it. That
Yeah.
reminds me, do you really have orange hair like your icon says?
I'm a ginger, yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
had to ask.
I have pictures posted on other social media, but yeah, I'm a ginger.
Oh, okay. What do you ever feel about like, wait, in theater, gingers have like even less characters?
Yep.
And I was like, the only one you can probably get is Anne of Green Gables.
Yeah, yeah, true.
I mean, I
I
really
could
did
always
like
wear
Anne of.
wigs.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, I liked Anne of Green Gables. She was really cute. The author had a really hard life though.
Mhm.
Then again, which writer did not have a hard life? I want to say Edgar Allan Poe, but he was just wild. He was just a hot mess, honestly.
Yeah,
I'll never
but
forget.
he's quite
Hmm?
renowned, so I'm glad he's still
Yeah.
recognized.
Oh, I know when he was publishing his stories, he was not that popular.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. It's like really not haha funny, but it's like I don't know, it's really kind of funny about how there you often see like so many artists, so many authors, writers that are not popular for their time, and then all of a sudden when they die, they suddenly become huge, and it's like, damn, why couldn't they get the recognition when they were alive? I'm always conflicted about that. I mean, it's better late than never. That's what I think.
I
But at
agree.
the same, yeah. So, tell me, what is your college major?
Graphic design.
Ooh, fancy. How do you like
Yeah.
that?
Um, I mean, I like the subject itself and I like the careers that it opens for me, but this ASU's graphic design program is very different from my previous university. I had transferred,
Mm-hmm.
and they wouldn't take my credits that I have already taken. And so I'm basically having to start over. And I'm currently taking in a drawing one class. The project that I'm currently doing, I am
Mm-hmm.
drawing horizontal lines in Adobe Illustrator with, excuse me, with no guides, no rulers, no snapping, nothing, even though
That's
my
pretty cool.
previous drawing one class at my previous university had me drawing still lifes and shading already and all this other stuff. And I'm sitting here drawing horizontal lines in this interview right now, thinking, why did I spend my money on this?
Honestly, I started coughing because I was like, holy crap, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What's your favorite drink?
My favorite drink?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go with, I mean, lemonade's a classic. but I like smoothies too.
Honestly, you deserve all the smoothies and lemonade after this after this semester. You deserve all
Thank
of
you.
it.
Thank you.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're surrounded by lines. So many
It's a lot
lines.
of lines. It's a lot of lines.
Honestly, after all that, it kind of made me want to put on an eye mask or a sleep mask and just never want to see another line again. Oh my gosh, this mystery must be a nightmare for you right now.
I'll get over it. I'm just frustrated.
I do not blame you. Oh yeah, speaking of which, you were saying you liked coffee earlier. What type of
I
coffee do
do.
you like?
Uh, just coffee. I put heavy cream and coconut sugar in it.
Ooh, sounds nice.
Yep, just as a little pick me up in the morning.
That's always good. I try to make my own like milk tea.
I do like milk tea.
It's so good.
It
My dad
is.
bought me milk, and my dad bought me green tea without the caffeine. I was like, no, it needs that caffeine. It needs that kick. I tried it without the caffeine. I was like, Dad, I love you, but it kind of tastes like trash.
Yeah, I need a
So
little
I'm
bit of
sorry.
caffeine in the morning.
Yeah. So are you a dog or cat person?
I like to say I'm a default dog person because I'm allergic to cats.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. So I read something online that says about how dog people are more into like agreeable and that they're willing to work together with people. While with
Mm,
cat people, they tend to like be more like stay to themselves, but they're more creative. Do you agree or disagree?
I mean, I disagree personally. I like both. I don't really favor either. It's just that I literally can't be around cats.
Oh,
Um, but I am very much introverted and I'm very much creative. So,
yeah. I'm also introverted as well. But the thing is, people are like, "Oh, you're not introverted." I'm like, "You're so friendly." I'm like, "That's not what introverted means. It
yeah,
means
no.
how much energy you have when you're around people." Like after I hang out with a friend for 2 weeks, nobody hears from me. Nothing. I'm just flat out silent because I need to recharge again from going out or talking to people. And sometimes I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm so friendly right now. I want to talk to everyone." And then after an hour, I'm like, "Oh, my battery's dead. I gotta go recharge." It's
Yeah.
it is. It's like, yay, I'm friendly, but then I die fast.
Yeah,
Kind
no,
of like the
that's
opposite of
also me.
yeah. It's kind of like the Energizer Bunny gone wrong. At least that's how I see it. Now back to voice acting. For voice actors, so what kind of have you talked to any other voice actors from other countries? Have you learned from different languages? Like what?
I definitely talk to other voice actors. I talk to lots of different voice actors all the time, but I don't really know any other languages.
The reason why I say that is because I'm very shy online, unfortunately. So
Hmm.
I feel like the only way I can really get to know other voice actors is through talking.
That's
And
understandable.
yeah, I remember talking to this one voice actor from like Honkai Star Rail. He was very, very kind to me to reply to me because I was asking him, saying like, "So, do auditions do in person anymore, or are they online after the pandemic?" And he was saying they're all online. You cannot do in person anymore. Like the pandemic just completely ruined it.
Yeah, I heard about that too. But honestly, I think it really opens doors for people who with accessibility issues. So
Hmm.
personally, I think the virtual auditioning, virtual recording in general is actually really beneficial. I
Oh no, I agree.
Yeah.
It goes from like including from people from different countries as well.
Hmm.
Those that want to live out of state and disabilities as well. Actually, I'm supposed to be on disabilities because of my autism,
Mm.
but government was all like they've been cutting corners. So I was like, yay. That's also really great for those who can't drive. I
Yeah.
try to drive. I try, but nobody in my family trusts me for driving.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I need to have like glasses soon.
Mm.
One day. But unfortunately today's not that day. So, one more thing as well. The reason I was asking about languages is because I was talking to somebody that was from the Philippines actually. And she was telling me about how Tagalog, the Filipino language, was often hearing like for voice acting about like what can be improved, what can be not be improved, how can we things change into it. And I was like, okay, that makes sense because I often also because I'm Mexican American, I often hear about a lot of praise from a lot of like Spanish dub, real like a lot of it,
Yeah.
and hear how good it is. Like one thing I give credit to like the Spanish dub is for instance, back in the 90s, there was no censorship. So when Sailor Moon came out, they did not censor Neptune and Uranus's like relationship.
Hmm.
They just flat out said, yeah, they're gay, they're here. Yeah, kids, you're gonna see it all. They did not censor it like what was it called? The Viz? No, what was it called? Viz is the one that currently did the Sailor Moon dub. What was the other one called? Vic? Viz? Honestly, I forgot what was like the one that did the previous Sailor Moon dub. That was in the 90s, early 2000s, but they did kind of censor it, like calling for like their relationship as cousins.
Oh.
Yeah. That I do remember, like a lot of people talk about that. Honestly, your brain sounds so fried I could probably crack an egg on top and cook. I
No,
could probably cook.
I'm focused. I'm listening and I'm focused, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, no, you're good.
Okay. So on lighthearted questions as well.
Mhm.
Do you ever like drawing anything or do you ever like make anything out of like what other hobbies do you have besides voice acting?
I like to write. I'm currently setting up demo script commissions.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
That makes
And
sense.
then I'm also a big gamer, so
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I get that. I tried for my own demo. I actually wrote them all on my own.
nice.
Mhm. Sure, some of it didn't come out right because of the dyslexia, but it's a-okay. Improv.
Improv is good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, with my theater teacher, he was like, "There's a certain period for theater where you cannot improv." I think he
Oh
was saying
yeah,
like before the 1900s, you cannot improv, or like 18 something, you cannot
yeah.
improv.
That that sounds about right.
Yeah, and it was really difficult for me because we were doing a lot of old books, like all of my sons and a streetcar named Desire, all of those books. We
Mm,
were doing the acting scenes for some of those. Streetcar named Desire was really, really big at one time. I actually thought it
yeah,
was from. I actually thought it was Ozzy Osbourne's thing because I always hear him said Stella.
yeah. I was in a college directing class, and someone chose a scene from Streetcar named Desire for their directing scene.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I chose a scene
It's a
from Coconuts, so
it's a very brutal thing. I remember for one director, he asked me to play a character from Thelma and Louise. I think it was Louise. It was before the famous ending,
oh, gotcha.
and yeah, it was pretty fun. It was nice, and we got a chance to see the background thing about how they work the microphone, how they work the camera, and it was like a mini production. But I
Gotcha.
thought, yeah, it was fun. Oof, damn! I just thought about something.
Hmm.
Do you ever have to draw the perfect circle?
Mm, no.
Oh, okay. Because one thing I remember about this one graphic designer, he was saying like, oh, you can just put like input a render circle and then put a hole in there and then stretch it out and then you got the perfect circle.
Oh,
And then people were proving and saying like you cannot do that because it depends on where you put the circle and how you stretch it out.
gotcha.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of render art, but that was more of like parody art.
Mm.
I think I was back in high school. I don't remember, but I'll think about it one day. I don't know. I'm just more absent-minded, and I was really, really nervous because I was like, "Ah, my god, I got the date wrong. I got the hour wrong."
Oh, yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I always think, "Oh yeah, it's this time," and it's like, "Oh wait, no, it's not that time." Absent-mindedness happens sometimes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I agree.
Hmm. So tell me, I have one more thing to ask.
Mhm.
Can you sing?
I can.
Really?
Mhm. I did, including the years that I wasn't really training, just over the course of how many years I've been taking voice lessons for about 13 years, or been involved in some sort of choir or musical type thing. But I've had over 13 years of training.
That's amazing. I've
Thank you.
actually tried doing. I've only done choir because I needed more people.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but other than that, really tried doing choir, but my singing voice is not that greatest. I tried.
There's always ways that you can improve your singing voice.
Yeah, I've actually tried taking a singing class. It took a while for me to finally improve my breath support because I would always get nervous in front of class and I would tense up too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always difficult. And then my teacher was saying for breath support, you have to put something on top of your stomach or your chest to breathe, and I just grabbed my cats for that. It always worked. It always worked.
Gotta love cats.
I know. I think Russian blues are hyperallergenic.
I'm even allergic to hypoallergenic cats.
Really? So is it
Yeah,
like
I'm like
they're
very
like
allergic to cats.
so I read that somewhere that some people that are allergic to cats might be allergic to their saliva because they lick
Mm,
their fur
yeah,
too much.
that might be what I'm allergic. I don't really know exactly what I'm allergic to when it comes to cats. I just know that uh that I start suffocating.
Oh, we can't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely cannot have that. The only thing I'm allergic to is probably milk and grass.
Mm,
There's
I'd
some
cry if I was
grasses.
allergic to milk.
I know. I mean, it just never stopped me.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of lactose intolerant people will eat milk anyway or drink milk or eat dairy or whatever.
I drink lactose milk, but other than dairy products, I was like, yeah, it's not gonna stop me. And I remember watching this one YouTuber. His name is like Jordan Howlett or something,
Mhm.
and he was saying about how lactose intolerant people are like pandas because we'll start to eat, and drink dairy products, kind of like pandas. Like bamboos are not necessarily the best for pandas, but they still eat it anyway because they like the taste.
Mm,
And it kind of makes their digestive system slow or fast depending on how the consumption of bamboos. And I was like, oh, so kind of like lactose intolerant people. And he was saying that lactose intolerant people are the same as pandas because even though it's not necessarily the best for us like pandas, we still consume the dairy products like bamboos.
yeah.
And he was also joking around saying lactose intolerant people, you can tell them you're gonna have milk, you cannot have cheese, and they'll still eat all the cheese in the world. And I'm like, that is so true.
Yeah.
That has that has never stopped me with ice cream, cheese, nothing. I just really love cheese and milk, and yeah, honestly, all dairy products are good.
Yeah, me too.
I hmm I think it's a European genetic mutation to be like interested in the milk, or like a type of like genetic mutation. But either way, I'm kind of jealous of that. I was like, why couldn't I get it? Because I have Spaniard blood on my dad's side. That's why.
Yeah.
Hmm. It's always so difficult, but it happened. One more thing I need to ask of you:
Hmm.
do you ever have any lines you've always wanted to say in the voice acting? You're like, damn, this would be such a cool line to say.
I don't think so.
Really?
No, I just kind of, I get the script, do my acting thing, analyze it, and I say the lines. I don't really think there's a specific line I'd want to say. If there was, I'd put it in my own demo, but
No, that's what I mean. Like there, because I'm creating my own drama, like audio drama. That's why. So right now I'm
gotcha.
thinking about like what type of lines do I want to put in, what do I want to say, and I'm also creating a mini book right now, but it's just for myself.
Hmm.
It's just I kind of like writing miniature books for fun for myself.
Yeah, for sure.
There's yeah, there is no way I would let the internet read it, mainly because of the themes.
Which is totally fine.
Yeah, it happened. I mean, it's a thing. Oh, that reminds me. One more thing I need to ask.
Yep.
You said you've been singing for like 13 years, and how long have you been acting for theater?
Um, for theater, I've had around 10 years of like, participation and or classes.
Oh, so would you say more than half your life?
Yeah.
That's
Or not
impressive.
more than half, but about half my life. I've always been involved with acting and the performing arts.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
The only thing I've done much with acting was probably like school theater and participating in a lot of acting clubs.
Hmm.
And also, I think like auditioning for a commercial.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I've done
Yeah.
it's mostly theater that I've done and then,
Hmm.
different levels of classes.
Yeah. The thing is that I live like near Disneyland, so we often have a lot of people that ask, saying like if you want to audition for like commercials. They
Hmm.
were really picky like in the 2000s, like about like what did you have to look and how small you were. They did not want people a certain height.
Oh yeah. Yep, same for
I'm
theater.
Yeah. For me, I didn't mind, but at the same time, I did want more variety. I think that it might be happening soon about like people wanting to see more different types of characters, like tall, short, things like that.
Hmm.
I'm always thinking back to like the Heather's musical about how they changed like the Heather girls, like did different races, and I thought that was really nice. Kind of remind me of the Ashleys from like Recess.
Gotcha.
Hmm. And besides, I mean, why can't you have like a tall like Juliet and a short Romeo? I mean, it'd be nice. You could always reverse gender it.
Yeah,
Hmm. It could always be Juliet and uh not Romeo. What's it? Romania? No. Roma? Something like that.
I couldn't say.
I don't know. All I got was Julian instead of Juliet.
Yeah.
It's a step close.
Yeah.
So when is your pay assignment due?
Today. I just finished it though.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Congratulations, you've earned a lemonade. Hopefully,
Thank you.
if I could, I would offer you a lemonade.
I'm gonna stick to my water.
I know drinking water is incredibly important for us.
Yep.
I always wonder about people who dislike water that are part of like the arts, because I know that there are
Tea.
some. Hmm?
Tea, honey.
Yeah. I always wonder that as well because there was this one girl who was a singer and she absolutely hated water. She would always try to drink juice, soda, tea, whatever, anything that wasn't water.
Hmm.
It was always difficult for me because I'm not a big fan of like any other thing besides soda, and I'm very picky on juices. Like on average, I drink like try to drink 2 liters of water. Well, I try.
Yeah.
Mainly because I have a hydro flask that is like that is 1 liter. That's why.
Gotcha.
Boy, you sound like you need a nap.
I need a what?
A nap.
No, I slept in. I don't
Oh,
need a nap.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you needed a nap because you sound like your battery's dying out. That's why.
Well, I don't think the coffee is quite kicked in yet.
No, no, it hasn't. It wants to be
No,
really, really slow.
it does. It really does. I might need a second cup of coffee.
It happens. It happens. If
Mm-hmm.
I could, I would offer you some caffeine candy, like coffee
Mm,
candy.
thank you.
I also know that chocolate has caffeine in there too.
Yeah, very small amounts though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, what made you want to agree to the interview?
Um, I don't know. I thought it'd be fun.
I always think that it's always fun too, interviewing different types of people. You always get to
Hmm.
know them. You always get to know their interests. Do you have any projects coming up? Things like that.
Yeah.
Do you have any projects coming up anyway?
Yeah, but I can't talk about them.
Oh, okay. Do you have any previous projects would you like to advertise or say?
Play Bane Moraine on Steam. Play Dawnsbury Days on Steam.
There you go.
Uh,
You have it.
yeah.
I always have to ask because I was like, wait a minute. Sometimes they want to advertise it. And I was just like, oh, I feel kind of bad because I didn't ask.
Okay, it's okay. No, that's awesome. I think that's awesome.
I mean, I remember someone was asking me going previous, going like, so what made you want to interview voice actors? And then I thought, well, nobody ever asks them anything. You never got a chance to hear them what their interests are in anything.
Yeah.
So then I thought, well, why don't I just interview some? It doesn't matter if they're like big or small or like doing it as a hobby or getting into the profession of it. It's like nobody ever asked them anything. Going like, and for some people, get really shocked and surprised when I say, "What made you want to get into voice acting?" They're like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, haven't you ever been asked that?" And apparently not. And I was like, "Damn, are we like the little small little ladybugs in the acting world?"
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah, because I just feel like, don't get me wrong, I love my theater acting. I love theater acting. But sometimes I do feel like we don't hear enough from the other side, from like voice actors,
Hmm.
musical actors, or like any other type of acting besides TV shows and movies. And it's really ironic because a lot of actors that moved into TV were in the radio, so they technically were voice actors.
Yeah.
And you can't help but think going like, do you not have any interest in what their likes are, what they do, what their hobbies are, things like that. So I couldn't help but wonder. I got curious, which is why I asked so many people going like, hey, do you mind if I interview you? Do you mind if I interview? And when you said yes, I was like surprised. I was like, oh my god, hooray!
Yeah.
But it also kind of has me thinking like as well, saying sometimes like a lot of people tend to think like the voice actors tend to be their characters as well.
Hmm.
That's something I hear going like, "Oh wow, it's not like the voice actors are their characters." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, it's true, but it's like you can't help but wonder what their personalities are like." I mean, it's a little parasocial of me to say. However, you kind of want to hear of like at least something of them going like, I love hearing the irony about like people who play characters. Like for example, when you said about how you love playing villains and yet you're constantly hardworking, um you're just doing graphic design, like you can't help but want to hear like the differences of like the characters and their voice actors.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah, like what would you say your personality is compared to you and villains that you play?
I'm not a villain.
There you
Um,
go.
I also just like I feel like I'm typically pretty energetic when I act, but in general, as a person, unless I'm getting hyped up about something, I'm not very energetic. I'm very
And
demure.
yeah, and typically villains have like so much energy for everything.
Yeah.
So you can't help but wonder, going like, oh, you can't help but feel like, oh, the irony, like the opposite. It's like so amazing. I mean, I personally like it a lot.
Which is
Like,
awesome.
exactly. So it's like I kind of want to hear like their personalities and what they do, and it's just amazing. And then I remember there was this one person I interviewed. He has like a whole bunch of animals, and yet he does acting in a lot of shooting video games. But yet when I
Mm,
talked to him, he was one of the most laid back people ever. And he was like a general, like soldier, commander, and those are pretty strong characters. Like you need to be out there if you're playing like those type of characters.
yeah,
But no, he was so laid back. It's just amazing. I just love it. I just can't help but feel fascinated by it.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think so too. Is there any songs, music genres you like singing?
Um, just kind of everything.
Is there
If it's
any
fun, I'll sing it.
genre? Is there any genre in video games that you would like to voice in the future?
Uh, RPGs or FPS games.
Ooh,
Yeah. I
I've
mean,
always wanted to. Hmm?
I voice in I mentioned Babe Moraine, that's a boomer shooter game, so I kind of already have that checked, but I mean like a multiplayer,
Mhm.
when I think an FPS game that I want to voice in, I think something bigger like Fortnite or Valorant, like something that people play with all together, that's larger. That's one of my
Mhm.
bigger goals, but yeah, I need to work my way up to that.
Hey, I hope it comes true for you. I'm positive it will.
Thank you.
I mean, you have lots of experience. I can tell that you really work hard. Honestly, like willing to draw that many lines says a lot.
Yeah.
And to me, I think it's amazing. I think it's great. I'm
Thank you.
always I know that people say that the voice acting world or the acting world in general is very competitive, but sometimes I don't think it has to be. I think it can be competitive with maybe somebody that can do your voice range. I can
Hmm.
understand if it's somebody of your voice range, you can be a little bit competitive. But if it's like somebody who does not do the characters you typically do or your voice range is like, why get competitive there?
Well, unfortunately, the industry is always going to be competitive.
Hmm. I still don't get it. I don't know. Maybe that's my autism speaking, or that's just me and my personality speaking. But there's just some things I don't get. Like, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to do that? I don't know. I just don't get it. It's always so confusing to me.
Yeah,
Like,
it can be confusing.
yeah, like I remember when I was a little kid, I asked my mom, like, why do people say black cats are bad luck? Why does nobody ever ask the black cats if they want to be bad luck? And then my mom was like, I never thought about that. I was like, yeah, why don't we ever ask them? It's not like they're born wanting to be bad luck. That's the real questions here. All right. It is the time for
His
us to go.
time. Yes.
You have anything less you wish to say? Any shout outs? Anything else?
I don't think so. I think I'm all good.
Okay. Please look forward to. Wait, it's Sky, right?
Yeah, or Skylar, either way.
I keep on thinking your name is Bloom because I think of like your icon is Bloom.
Oh, yeah, I love Bloom. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
get
I keep
that.
on thinking it's like Bloom from the Weeks. I was like, wait, you're not Bloom. And then that doesn't help that you got the blue hoodie, like blue, like her main color is blue as well.
I never really thought about that.
I was like, oh my god, you look like Bloom. That's why I had to ask if you had like red, if you were a ginger in real life, because I was like, Bloom. I had to ask. I just had to. All right. Well, thank you so much for being in this interview. maybe you can come again in the future, maybe anything else. And it was just a lot of fun. And in the description will be the video games that you have played and
Awesome.
the voice, the credits to the artist as well for the icon, and including please check out Skylar in the future of the voice if you can, please.
Thank you
I
for
hope
having
that
me.
you're in a Fortnite or a Valorant game. I really, really hope so.
Thank you.